good Wednesday afternoon, folks. Welcome back to Myrtle Beach Living Live. I'm Todd Cartner, your host. And if you're looking for anything to do with Myrtle Beach that has to talk about entertainment, dining, local businesses, and of course, my favorite, real estate, you're in the right place. We go live every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, we are in episode 28 this week. And in case I forget to tell you at the end of the show, I hope everyone has a happy holiday. Enjoy your Christmas. Be safe if you're traveling and whatnot. But today I am excited to have with me a friend of mine that has been, I guess we've been friends for probably 10 or 12 years now. Chris Castanes, who is a insurance broker with Surf Financial Brokers. And we're going to get him on here in just a moment. But remember, if you have any questions whatsoever for today's guest, make sure that you type them in the comments on whatever channel that you're watching on, or you can call us at 843-246-7474 and we'll get your questions on the air. So let's bring Chris in and let's see here. There we go. Welcome, Chris.
What's up?
How are you?
Doing good. We had a glorious NC State victory last night.
Yes,
over UNC. So I'm feeling good right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've never been much of an NC State fan because I've been a Tar Heel fan, but I will tell you that I have several cousins and second cousins that have gone to NC State. As a matter of fact, you may know. Have you ever heard of Jeff Langford? He was a golf guy there at NC State. Did very well and ended up on the PGA Tour. And Jeff is my first cousin, my mom's sister's son, and he did very, very well there and went on to be a golf pro. And he does very well with that. But well, welcome to the show. And let's talk a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What kind of family you have? How long you been in Myrtle Beach? That kind of thing.
Well, I grew up north. I'm from Fayetteville, about 2 hours north. I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina originally, and went to NC State and was working up there and took a job that moved me to Wilmington, and then they eventually moved me down here to North Myrtle Beach, and I've been here ever since. And when I first got out of college, I was selling door-to-door accident insurance plans out in the middle of nowhere. And didn't care for it. So I thought all insurance was horrible. And I got out of the business altogether. And about 20 years ago, I got back into the business again. And so Surf Financial Brokers has been around in one form or fashion, since about 2009. And so we just do, life insurance, disability insurance, things like that, cancer plans, accident plans, long-term care, all that. Still live up here in North Myrtle Beach with my wife. My daughter's actually attending Coastal Carolina, so she's enjoying a good football season this year. Absolutely. And
they had a big event there this past weekend, or I'm sorry, it was Monday, a couple days ago. Yeah,
they're going to a football game and the Cure Bowl or something. I've never heard of that one before.
But they also had the inaugural Myrtle Beach Bowl there with
that's right.
State and what was it? Upper Texas University, was that it?
Northern Texas and Appalachian.
Somebody like that. I know Appalachian took them away, so at least that's a Carolina team. So a good job there. Well, we're going to get into a little bit more of the types of insurance and why it's important here in a little bit. But what got you into the insurance business to begin with? What made you want to take that route?
Well, like I said, I was right out of college and I really needed a job, and because you can't do but so much. My father was wanting me to go to work for him, and that just oil and water, that wasn't going to work. Wow. So I took a job, and like I said, I was just looking for something, and they did a 2-week sales training class and taught you how to sell and all this stuff. So I didn't like the work, but I liked the business, if that makes sense. I didn't like the type of work I was doing. So like I said, when I got back into the business about 20 years ago, I really just worked for a bunch of different companies and kind of learned a little bit from each one of them, got something to take away from it. And like I said, when we did Surf Financial, it we built it the way we wanted it to be, not off of some other model of a business. And since then, I've changed it quite a bit. I had some partners originally, and they've each gone off in the other direction. So I've more or less inherited it. And right now we're pretty much virtual completely at this point. So it's I like it. I like the business. I really just like, the work. I like the way the learning about it. There's always something new. There's always a new product coming down the pipeline. And, we always say there's always a product out there for somebody, but not all products are for everybody. So, it's not everybody's going to need an annuity, but there's a few people out there that do need an annuity from time to time or something like that. So just knowing what to do to help the client, find out where their pain points are, and just having a discussion with them, even if it's just a 15, 20-minute discussion of what keeps you up at night. And, let's make sure we're doing this the right way the first time so we don't have to go back. And all of that, keeping that in the client's budget. That's the most important thing, because they, we all want a Lexus, but sometimes we have to drive the
Right. I understand that. So I know you offer different types of insurance policies. Let's talk a little bit about what some of those are, and then we're going to have some more questions specific to some of those here in a little bit.
Okay, so we do life insurance, and when you do life insurance, of course, you're talking about, term, whole life, universal life. Now we have indexed universal life, which is a really great product. There's all those subsets of that. We do individual disability plans. A lot of that's for a lot of business owners and self-insured. I have a lot of realtors that have disability plans with us. Long-term care insurance, of course, is what it sounds like if you're chronically ill. We actually have short-term home health care now, which is another version of that. And, of course, our cancer plans, accident plans. We have something it's not really an official name, but we have something we call the COVID package this year, where, it's just life insurance, hospital indemnity, which is very cheap. It's just something you can get if you're going to be confined to the hospital. Disability insurance falls in there also. And of course, a lot of people don't want to be in a facility during COVID. So that's where that short-term home health care really is attractive to a lot of people who don't want to be in a facility at this point, or, if they put it off as much as they can. So those are the kinds of products. And then we also do a few group products. We don't really emphasize that a lot, but every once in a while, somebody will say, hey, I got a business. Can we do some benefits? I try to stay away from health insurance at this point. It's just become a whole other animal. and so we haven't really done full-blown health insurance. We have another agent that works with us down in Charleston, and we send her a lot of any health insurance or Medicare supplement stuff that's a little bit more specialized. I know just enough to be dangerous, and so I try not to dabble in things that I don't know about. There's just too many types of insurance sometimes. So I'd rather be good at what I do instead of bad at, a lot of things, like what's the old saying, a jack of all trades and master of none. Yeah. It's better to be safe than sorry. And if someone says, hey, do you need I need a Medicare supplement, I'll be more than happy to send them down to Jean down there in Charleston. And she does a great job with these people.
Sometimes it's better to know who to refer to than try to do it yourself. And it benefits the client more. And then I'm sure the lady in Charleston sends you some business as well if she has contacts up here. So, that's nice. I see Beverly's with us today. Hey, Beverly, she's watching from YouTube today. Thanks for joining us, Beverly. If you have any, just let us know. Chris, you mentioned the life insurance. I'm sorry, the long-term care insurance and the short-term health care insurance. What's the difference in those? Is that you explain it?
Long-term care, that usually covers you for being in a facility of some sort. It does have a home health care piece to it most of the time, and you can get it. It's just it's a very expensive product. And so, what's weird is you're paying a lot for something that is going to cover you. If you're in a facility in our area here, facility runs you probably somewhere around $35,000-$40,000 a year.
Wow.
Home health care, if you need round the clock 24/7 home health care, that can run you $75,000 a year.
Wow.
And so what we do is we have this short-term home health care plan. It covers you for 365 days at home, but they don't all have to be in a row, because some people may only have a caregiver come in, 2 or 3 days a week.
Right.
My father had 7 days a week, 24/7. There was always somebody in the house with him. He had Parkinson's and would fall down a lot, and so he needed somebody there with him. So in those cases like that, it's a very expensive product, but the short-term home health care is really affordable. The only caveat is you have to be at least 61 years old to get it. So, spring chickens like you and me, we're still a few years off from that. But
I have high mileage. I don't know about
I'm feeling your pain. So yeah, but it's a great plan, and it's a great product. It's very affordable, and there again, that's one that we.
Yeah. Now, does that cover pre-existing conditions as well?
Well, the home health care plan, there's only 3 questions on the questionnaire, actually. And one of them is, are you already in a facility? That's a knockout. If you say yes to that one, they're not going to take you. The other one is something to the effect of, are you planning on being in a facility? Have you already been told that you're going to need to be there? If you can say no to those, you're pretty much home free.
Well,
so, so unless you're already chronically ill, the underwriting on them is very, very easy.
Yeah. I try to keep things simple as possible. So that sounds like my kind of policy.
That's the problem with long-term care. There's just about a lot of, there's a lot of bells and whistles on that sometimes, and you can show it to somebody and have the paralysis by analysis from too many variables,
Exactly. We do have Michelle Tysinger watching us from Facebook. Thanks for joining us, Michelle. She has a question. What about children? Should I have life insurance for them?
Well, thanks, Michelle, for throwing me a softball. But yes. There's a school of thought out there that people say they shouldn't put life insurance on a child. They think it's just bad karma or something. I don't know. I have always been an advocate of, it's earlier the better. Put at least like a small whole life policy or something permanent that can grow some cash value for them. You're taking advantage of their health. You're leveraging very good health at that point. And unfortunately, things happen. I mean, people, have children that die or whatever in accidents and things, and it's horrible. But it's just as horrible watching them, trying to pay for a funeral that they can't afford, and fundraisers and GoFundMe and all that stuff and fish fries. It's painful. But my daughter was small, and I took out a policy on her when she was probably about 7 years old, and it grows every year, and she's going to have some cash value down the road, and so it's a good thing to have. And there's also those people that take out a life insurance policy on a child, and then a few years later, the child is diagnosed with something that could keep them from getting a policy down the road. And I've seen that happen. And so, it's a great question, Michelle. Thanks for lobbing me a softball on that one.
And I'm sure it's pretty affordable if you start with them young, correct?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think my daughter's plan, I don't want to get too much in the details, but it's less than $25 a month for a really good size policy. And so it's great, and they can do things with it too. Just getting like I said, options on the back end. They can use that money for things, need down payment for a car or something. They can always do that too. Yeah. Yep. And there are ways you can overfund it and have it pay for college. If you throw enough in there, and you don't have to disclose that when you're doing applying for a college loan. You don't have to disclose life insurance.
There you go. Beverly has a question for us. She said, how much does a short-term care typically cost? We'll say. She says she's had long-term care for 26 years. It's affordable and pays well for life. However, it does not cover home care. That's
Beverly, first of all, congratulations for being very forward-thinking. A lot of people that buy life insurance, I consider them to be very forward-thinking and looking ahead. And if you have that lifetime benefit, that's awesome, because there's a lot of companies that don't even offer that anymore. So I'd hang on to that policy. But and I don't know your age or anything, but if you're in good health, you can get, I would say, a 65-year-old person can probably get I'm spitballing here, a policy for around $40 or $50 a month. I had, before they raised the age to 61, I actually had some clients in their 50s who were buying them, and they weren't but like $30, $35 a month. So yeah, they're very, very affordable. But thank you for a good question.
Yeah, great question. Thanks, Beverly. Chris, you mentioned earlier that you offer employee benefits as well. How can people who are self-employed or on their own business get the benefits?
Well, that's the rub. Most of the time when you're selling group benefits, there's companies out there, we all know, we've heard of them, like Aflac and Colonial and those types, and they typically have participation minimum. So when you have somebody that's self-employed, they work out of their home, or they're a realtor, like me, I work out of my house. I'm an independent contractor. We have to kind of design our own benefits in a way. So there again, a lot of those products that they sell, and it's just payroll deducted. We sell the same things. We have, like I said, accident plans, disability, cancer plans, dental and vision. You can buy that on an individual basis, and they're pretty much comparable in price. There's not a whole lot of, you just don't have the convenience of it coming out of your paycheck each month or each week or however you get paid. But, you can always customize and build your own benefit package, and it's not going to be, price-wise, it's not going to be a huge difference. A lot of times, there are some differences in the products. For instance, disability with a group plan would include some maternity coverage, but with an individual plan, it won't. So, that's not why people buy disability. They're not buying it just for maternity coverage, but you need to have it anyway, though. Yeah.
Sure. Well, hey, Chris, we're going to take a quick break right quick. And when we come back, folks, we've got some other viewers that have sent in questions ahead of time that we're going to ask. And then if you guys still have any questions, please feel free to type them in the comments, and we'll be right back with you right after this message. Every client is unique and has different needs. Whether it's a growing family, a first-time buyer, an investor, or someone looking to downsize, I am here to help guide them through the process. My name is Todd Cartner. I am a realtor with Exit Coast Real Estate Pros. I serve Myrtle Beach and the surrounding area, and there is no place I would rather have my family call home. You need a realtor you can trust and will put your needs first. I want to become your lifetime realtor. If you are looking to buy or sell real estate, please give me a call. I look forward to speaking with you soon. right, folks, welcome back to Myrtle Beach Living Live. I'm Todd Cartner, your host, and we're in the middle of episode 28, and I have guest Chris Castanes with Surf Financial Brokerage today, who is an insurance agent. And Chris, we had some of our viewers to send in some questions ahead of time, and one of the ones that I would like to ask is this one came from Jennifer. She says, Chris, my family is growing, and we are expecting twins this year, and I think that they're due the day after Christmas. She said, what coverage should I consider?
Wow. Well, that's a good question, Jennifer, because, you're growing your family and you're going to have a lot of costs there and you're going to have a lot of expenditures. And the first thing I would do is really consider increasing life insurance on yourself and your partner, spouse, whoever's there helping you with those twins, because that's a full-time job. And if something happens to one of you, the other one's going to be working doubly plus, their career as well. So, the first thing I would consider is definitely increasing life insurance. There again, life insurance on the kids is a great thing to have. And, but that's where I would be looking first. Yeah. But congratulations on your twins.
Yeah. Don't call me to babysit.
No.
All right. Thanks, Jennifer. And the next one comes from Ashley, and she says, how is life insurance determined? I guess the amount of life insurance that you would need.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's a good question. And what we usually do is we sit down with people and just discuss, just pull out a little worksheet and let's make sure we're covering debt. When we say debt, we mean any kind of credit cards, car payment, loans, anything at balance, maybe the mortgage. Those are important things, because if you are to sure that your family can stay, where they're living, or at least have the same level of comfort, that's one of those things, when somebody passes away, unfortunately, the spouse will come up and who's got the beneficiary, and they'll say, am I going to be okay? And that's the first, that's a punch in the gut for some people, because you have to tell them yes or no, or, what do you want me to tell them, is what I tell the person that's taking out the policy. So, you determine it by debt, final expenses, of course. We always think of having a funeral, and people say, well, I'm going to have a small funeral or whatever. But there always are costs associated with death as well. Like you might be in the hospital for a week or so first. You're going to have some doctor office copays or co-insurance or something to that effect, deductibles. There's just a lot of things to figure in. Recouping salary that's lost, because whoever the survivors are still going to have day-to-day bills. There's always going to be that refrigerator that's going to go out, or the car is going to need a repair, and you're replacing somebody's income at that point. So when I have somebody and they'll say, I just want $100,000 worth of 20-year term, I'll ask, what are you trying to accomplish with that? Do you already have some insurance, or do you think that's going to be enough? And it's just a matter of working it out and just having that discussion, just saying, because lots of times they'll say, well, that's just what, my mom said to get, or something.
Right.
You want to make sure you have enough in case, you might want to have small children and have to pay for them to be able to go to college, and then we use college calculators and future cost of money and things like that. So you can get a little bit in the weeds, but we can get it close. Yeah.
You brought up a good point, that what mom got for insurance 20 years ago is definitely not what someone would need today.
Right. When I was a kid, apparently my father took out a life insurance policy for $5,000. And when I got married, my father gave me the policy, and he said, well, you're an adult now. I'm going to let you have this money and you can do with it what you want. Come to find out, my uncle, who didn't speak very good English, had sold him the policy, and I was the insured, not my father. So, no wonder the premiums were so low. So.
Right, exactly. Well, we have one more question from Jay. He says, what if my health changes? How can I update, or do I need to update my policy?
It depends on which way your health changes, I guess. If you're going, if you have a life insurance policy, for instance, and your health gets worse, of course you want to hang on to it.
Sure.
If you had the policy, you took out the policy while you were in bad health, and now you've, gotten your cholesterol down and you're quit smoking and you've made things that, changes that can keep that rate lower, then it might be worth it to go back and reapply for a new policy. It just depends. It's just a matter of crunching the numbers and doing the math, really. Um, I've had some people that have their health has gone sideways on them over the years, and they're always going to hang on to the policy they have. So, that's one of those things we always say: buy it now, don't wait till later, because you're probably right now is going to be as healthy as you're going to get.
Right. And that it goes hand in hand with real estate agents. I always try to keep in contact with my clients. I don't just sell them a house and then be done with it. As a matter of fact, last Monday, a week ago, we had our client appreciation dinner where I invite all the clients that have bought or sold through me out to dinner, and we had a good crowd there, and you just so many of them were responding to me. I've bought houses before, and my agent, I don't even remember their name because they haven't stayed in touch. And I guess that goes really hand in hand with an insurance agent. You need to stay in touch with them at least once a year to see if anything has changed to those policies.
Right. I had a guy years ago. He was a confirmed bachelor, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't need any life insurance." I said, "Okay, I'm just going to, I'll just give you a call once in a while." And I picked up the phone about a year later and just ran into him. And sure enough, he had a brother who had passed away in that year, and he was now the sole caregiver of a special needs child.
Wow.
And so, yeah, we had to, all of a sudden, he needed life insurance, so that's why you stay in touch.
Yeah, I always have a saying that life happens, then real estate happens. So you move out of your home from your parents, and then you buy a house. You get married, you buy a bigger house. You get divorced, you buy a smaller house. You have 5 kids, you have a bigger house. So life happens, and then real estate happens. I guess I can change that saying to life happens, and then real estate and insurance happens.
Right, because there's all kinds of things that happen, and people have different needs, and it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Well, Chris, we're going to wrap this up. I have one more question. This one's mine, and I'm sure you get asked this a lot, and that is basically, how can you save money on insurance? And I know that like we said before, different policies for different things, but I guess I'll let you answer that question without me giving away too much of the information, and maybe you'll enlighten me on something I'm not even thinking about.
Well, it really just depends on what you have currently, and that's one of those things where we just put a second set of eyeballs on what you already have and say, okay, you might have something that you can replace that's cheaper, or you might be great just staying where you are. Like the lady that asked about it, and she said she already had a long-term care. There's no way in this world I would go back and try to replace that policy if she's got a lifetime benefit, because they don't even make those anymore. Right. So it's a matter of doing what's yeah. We try not to, we try to do what's in the best interest of the client. And yeah, I like making a commission, but I'm not going to do it to, put her in a worse position. So.
Right. Sure. Well, Chris, thanks so much. Let's see. I believe we have your website here that we can get up. And let's see. We've got surffinancialbrokers.com.
Right. And what I was going to say about that is you can go there if you want to, you have questions, you can go to that website. We have some product information. We have videos on some of the products. We have quoting tools. You can run your own rates, and you can also book your own appointment with us. And we have our calendar up there. People book appointments, and then they can tell us what they want to talk about ahead of time. We give them a call. Everything's over the phone. It's all virtual, contactless insurance. So and a lot of the life insurance companies, for instance, now have loosened up those exam restrictions, so you don't have to worry about a nurse coming to your house and things like that. So we try to keep it as seamless and virtual as possible now. Yeah.
COVID has changed things in so many different ways, even when they do home inspection or home appraisals now, not so much the inspections, but the appraisals. Sometimes they just do drive-bys. If it's a condo or a townhome, they just drive by to make sure that it's not burnt down or something
Right.
of that nature. And so, but COVID has created some cool things. It allows us to do what we're doing right now. So we're able to do the show live and virtual. You're in your home, I'm in my home, and that's how that works. But also, if you want to get in touch with Chris, other than the website, we can also call him. Whoops. There it is. 843-283-3300. 843-283-3300. Chris, I wish you and your family a great holiday season, and all the people that are watching out there live or recorded and watching as playback, we wish you a great holiday season as well. Chris, thanks for joining me today.
Well, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I'm hoping everybody has a great 2021. And if you need anything, just let us know. We're available.
There you go. That's it. All right, guys, have a great week and enjoy your holidays once again. We'll see you next Wednesday here live on Myrtle Beach Living on your favorite social media channel. Have a great week.